In your headlines, Beaches, Turks and Caicos has recognized an environmental hero. And an early morning collision on one of the Twin Islands has left a North Caicos father dead. From the PTV Broadcasting Headquarters in Providenciales, your #1 source for news, I'm Erica Penales, delivering the latest from across the country this Tuesday, July 5th, 2022, right to your door. Newswatch starts now. In today's top story, we bring you highlights from DDME's 3rd annual Hurricane Preparedness Expo and winners of the 30-second Trolley Dash. We have the highlights.
The Department of Disaster Management and Emergencies Hurricane Preparedness Expo was a huge success on Friday after scores of residents went down to reap the benefits and information being presented. The expo involved stakeholders from across the country who prepared booths filled with important information, safety and prevention demonstrations, tips and preparedness lists, and takeaways that attendees could largely benefit from. Persons were given the opportunity to pose questions and express concerns associated with hurricane preparedness and post-storm solutions from the Red Cross, Fire Department, Airport Authority, Cheshire Hall Medical, Public Works Department, Fortis TCI Regiment, Royal Turks and Caicos Islands Police Force, and Nagico Insurance, and many others. However, one of the biggest highlights was the 30-second mini hurricane supplies shopping spree or trolley dash at Smart Supermarket, won by Sophia Thomas, who was able to attain over $400 worth of hurricane supplies in the competition, followed by Swarzette John, also hitting the $400 margin. Residents were able to walk away with charcoal, coolers, batteries, toiletries, cleaning supplies, and the likes, and are now one step closer to their hurricane preparedness requirements. The event was DDME's 3rd expo and first since the COVID-19 pandemic.
Beaches, Turks and Caicos has recognized a selfless environmental hero for his dedication to keeping Turks and Caicos beautiful by nature. Here's more. In the early hours of dawn, maybe on your way to work or catching an early morning run, you'd see Norman Rogers, a retired businessman who has now dedicated his mornings to the selfless act of preserving Turks and Caicos' natural beauty. On Tuesday, June 28th, team members and managers from Beaches, Turks and Caicos collected nearly 100 bags of garbage from the Lower Bight area, which included Princess Drive and the public basketball court, as part of the company's continued dedication to environmental assistance. This cleanup was made even more special as it followed an official recognition of a true friend to the local streets, sidewalks, and beaches of Providenciales. Norman Rogers, affectionately referred to as Norm, has a long history of hands-on demonstration when it comes to caring for the planet, as many residents have seen his familiar face while driving along the highway in the mornings, where he collects trash 5 days a week. He is also no stranger to the Sandals Resort's international brand. Citing his journey to the Turks and Caicos, Norm stated, "We first learned of Beaches, Turks and Caicos at a Sandals returning guest dinner and visited the Turks and Caicos Islands for the first time in 2000 and instantly fell in love. Unfortunately, I had a mild heart attack in 2003, which led me to think about my future. So in 2004, we purchased a home on the island. We often visit Fort George Key to photograph birds, but the litter always got in the way, so I began to collect litter every time we visited the other small islands and keys." He continued, "During the lockdown in 2020, people were allowed to go for walks in the morning and evening. During my walks, I began to notice litter along the streets and did not like it at all, so each time I went for a walk, I would pick up some and bring it back home. I have been picking up litter ever since and collected over 2,000 bags, which brings me joy because if the hurricane winds come, that litter will not end up in the ocean. This shirt I'm wearing today says 'Stop Littering' on the front, and one person can make a difference on the back. Words I live by," end quote. The massive cleanup project was a collaborative effort between the Beaches, Turks and Caicos managerial staff and the internal group, the Earth Guardians, who are resort ambassadors responsible for positively impacting the environment. The combined team focused on the section of the Lower Bight adjacent to the Key West Village, which is the scene of ongoing roadworks and new sidewalk constructions. The environmental team started early in the morning after presenting Norm with an official certificate of recognition and his very own owned Sandals' 40th anniversary team member t-shirt. They proceeded to gradually work their way east along Princess Drive, collecting plastic bottles, paper, and plastic supplies, as well as disposable masks and other debris. Beaches Turks and Caicos Environment, Health, and Safety Manager Chantal Gibson cited the importance of recognizing members of the community who tirelessly work to preserve and protect the environment. Gibson stated, "All of us are familiar with Norm and his continued efforts to contribute to the Beautiful by Nature brand of Turks and Caicos. That's why it was such an honor to not only recognize his consistent work, but also to collaborate with him on a cleanup initiative. As Earth Guardians, we conduct community and beach cleanups very often. This also allows us to build relationships with the residents in these communities, and they have come to understand how important their communities are to us and Sandals Resorts International as an organization." End quote. The Pan American Health Organization is calling for increased support for patients with post-COVID condition and for health systems to acknowledge this long-lasting effect of the pandemic and help address it. Here's more. As COVID-19 cases continue to rise in the Americas, with new infections increasing by 13.9% from last week, Pan American Health Organization Director Carissa F. Etienne has called for countries to prepare their health systems to address the long-term impact of post-COVID condition, commonly known as long COVID, which they believe may impact many in the region. To support countries, the World Health Organization has identified 3 R's to help guide actions. The first being recognition. Given the wide variety of post-COVID symptoms and the stigma around the condition, countries must ensure that healthcare workers have enough training to recognize symptoms. Second, rehabilitation. Managing post-COVID conditions requires a multidisciplinary approach with physical therapists, occupational and speech therapists, mental health professionals, nurses, and doctors working together in a holistic manner. And finally, research. PAHO Director Carissa F. Etienne said, "We still do not know enough about post-COVID condition. We need scientists and research institutions to commit to closely following those with symptoms so we can learn more about this condition. This is a real condition and it must be dealt with applying robust policies and guidance," Dr. Etienne said. "It is also crucial that we recognize the impact that post-COVID condition has on people's lives and work alongside those affected to ensure that their voices are heard." Turning to the COVID-19 situation in the region, cases continue to increase in all 4 sub-regions, with countries reporting over 1.3 million new infections and 4,001 voices or 58 deaths. In North America, cases have increased by 7.7% overall, with cases increasing in the USA and Mexico while falling in Canada. South America reported a significant jump in new cases, with almost 500,000 new COVID-19 infections reported over the last week, a 24.6% increase. In the Caribbean, cases have begun to plateau over the past 2 weeks, with countries reporting a 3.2% increase over the past week. These numbers serve as a stark reminder that too many people are still vulnerable, Dr. Etienne said. "Let us embrace the means we have today to prevent the worst consequences of COVID and help us turn the page on this pandemic." Stay tuned as this story develops in your subsequent newscast. It's time for a quick break. More News Watch when we return.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to Newswatch. An early morning collision on one of the Twin Islands has left a North Caicos father dead. The incident, we are told, involved a single vehicle. Here's that report.
The victim of that car accident is identified as 42-year-old Arnold Hall. The single-car collision took place around 7 a.m. on Sunday morning. Newswatch learns that Hall was driving a light-colored Nissan March when the vehicle apparently lost control and veered into a nearby pole. We've since been informed from family members that Hall was likely on his way to catch a boat to Provo for a special family event when the accident happened in Kew. He was pronounced dead shortly after. Hall was also the driver in another vehicle accident over 20 years ago that claimed the life of the mother of one of his children. He is also the son of former police commissioner Edward Hall. Police have yet to release information on the accident. However, Newswatch has been made aware that the road where the accident took place is the same stretch where the accident involving 21-year-old Eldrico Hall occurred. He was flown to Jamaica, where he later died. Condolences are extended to the family of Arnold Hall.
The Caribbean Tourism Organization's Youth Congress has returned in person for 2022. We bring you the details. The annual event, structured to mirror a CTO Board of Directors meeting, aim is to stimulate greater awareness of and excitement about tourism among young people in the Caribbean communities by allowing them to research various facets of the tourism sector and share their ideas and vision with respect to future directions for Caribbean tourism. The last in-person event took place in St. John's, Antigua in 2019, where Turks and Caicos Junior Minister of Tourism, Danae Denny, from the Elena J. Robinson High School in Grand Turk, took home the topic and now holds the title of Junior Minister of Tourism for the Caribbean region. This year, the event is being held on Tuesday, July 5th in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Hosted at Fortis TCI in Providenciales, will see this year's competition select a new winner and prepare them for the regional competition that takes place in September in the Cayman Islands. Students from across the Turks and Caicos Islands will compete in this competition, and it is only eligible to fourth form students. Ms. Blythe Clare, training manager for the TCI Tourist Board, who spearheads this event, said she was elated that TCI won the regional competition after years of participation in the regional event, stating, quote, "Danae has indeed made us all proud in the TCI." The participating schools as follow: Helena J. Robinson High School, Marjorie Baston High, Clement Howell High, Raymond Gardner High, Maranatha Academy, and Wesley Methodist High. Students who participate in this event benefit from exposure to the 3 E's in tourism: exciting, educational, and entertaining experiences, gain an awareness of tourism within his or her country and throughout the region, experience the tourism product of another country, meet new friends, and gain a better understanding of the tourism sector, which is critical to the overall social and economic well-being of the Caribbean region. At the 2022 Tourism Youth Congress, students are required to prepare and come ready to present their ideas on this topic. Each student will be given 3 minutes to express his or her ideas on the chosen topic. The students are also required to answer a mystery question. It is important to note that the Youth Congress is not a debating competition. The judging criteria is as follows: knowledge of subject area, level of preparedness, presentation of information, relevant content, and poise and confidence. The Ministry of Tourism and the Tourist Board would like to wish all the participants the best of luck in this competition. Don't touch that remote. We'll be right back. Coming up next is your weather forecast.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
at People's Television, we're more than just your leading news and entertainment services. We are
spreading the gospel.
We are breaking barriers.
We are preserving the culture. Each one, teach one.
We are committed to excellence.
We're creating change.
We are creating memories.
We are the future. I am PTV.
I am PTV. I am PTV.
I am PTV.
We are PTV.
We are continuing the legacy. We are PTV.
Welcome back to Newswatch. Here's the latest in your weather forecast. Here's your weather forecast for July 6, 2022. For the nation's capital, Grand Turk, on Wednesday, isolated showers, high 84, low 80, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. For South Caicos, intervals of clouds and sunshine, high 84, low 79, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. For North and Middle Caicos, isolated showers, high 84, low 79, winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For Parrot and Pine Keys, sunshine and mixed clouds, high 84, low 79, winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And on Providenciales, sunshine and mixed clouds, high 84, low 79, winds east at 10 to 30 miles per hour. Now for your sunrise and sunset. Sunrise 6:12 a.m., sunset 7:37 p.m., and for your high tides and low tides, high tides 12:55 a.m., 1:32 p.m., and 7:10 a.m., 7:45 p.m. And for your hurricane outlook, for the North Atlantic, Caribbean Sea, and the Gulf of Mexico, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 5 days. And that's it for your weather forecast and hurricane outlook. And that brings us to the end of this edition of The Real News. I hate to leave you so soon, but of course, you can join us right back here every weekday at 6:30 p.m. and tap into our social media platforms at www.ptv8tci.com. I'm Erica Penales, keeping you informed, updated, and affiliated. Until next time.